This is a CBS4 Tracking Elsa update.
Good morning. We are tracking Tropical Storm Elsa. First, we would tell you we are expecting a briefing from Surfside. Of course, when that happens, we will stream it online at CBSMiami.com.
We do have CBS4's Ted Scouten. He is live in Key West, but right now we want to check in first with CBS4 Meteorologist Lissette Gonzalez with the latest on the storm's track. Lissette.
Francis, Maribel, good morning, everyone. Tropical Storm Elsa is just west of Key West and moving north-northwest at 12 miles an hour. Storm surge warnings, hurricane watches, tropical storm warnings in effect for the west coast of our state, but the tropical storm warnings in place for the lower and middle Keys because currently tropical storm conditions are impacting the lower and the middle Keys, the worst of the weather occurring now. And once Elsa starts to lift away and to the north and eventually to the northeast, could be making landfall somewhere here along the northern Gulf Coast of Florida before it moves up the southeast coast and then eventually heads up to the mid-Atlantic northeast. But here's the big story. The rain hasn't stopped for the past few hours. It has just been training over the same areas. You notice that the lightning is off to the west and there is some lightning off to the south. So a few of these thunderstorms with lightning could be headed towards Key West in, let's say, the next 20 minutes or so. And the flood advisory is in effect until 10:45 a.m. for the lower Keys, for Big Coppic Key, Key West, Stock Island, because 1 to 3 inches of rain has fallen and there could be some more. And the rain stretches across the middle Keys, so that flood watch is in effect through this afternoon. I want to get quickly to the winds because our Ted Scouten is there. And look at the winds sustained right now. 53 miles an hour in Sand Key, 35-mile-per-hour winds right now sustained in Key West. But that's not all. We're seeing wind gusts as strong as 63 miles an hour. So that is the strongest wind gust I've seen so far this morning, as strong as 52 miles an hour in Key West. And with that, I do want to turn it over to our Ted Scouten to let us know about the current conditions there.
Hi, Lissette. Well, the conditions really have been going downhill ever since around maybe 3 o'clock this morning, and now we're seeing some of the strongest weather that we've seen throughout the day. Maybe a little while ago there may have been a few more stronger gusts, but really it's sustained pretty strong, much stronger than we've seen throughout the rest of the day. Let's take a look over here. Kind of give you an idea. When you look over the trees, you can see just how strong that wind is. It gives you a good gauge. And over the sand here, you can also see the rain. It seems to be falling horizontally. It's being pushed by the wind. We're going to move around here a little bit more, where you can get a look at the ocean, where normally this is very calm, placid water, but it's actually spilling over the side there. It's been very strong as the storm is getting closer. What it's doing is it's pushing the water into the shore. This is how you see storm surge working. When you have storm surge, the water is simply pushed by the wind onto shore, and then you get the water building up on shore. Of course, the concern here is that there could be some flooding. That we have noticed around several parts of town in low-lying areas that there already is some flooding. Guys?
Ted, I have a question for you, and of course I'm going to bring in Maribel and Francis as well, who are going to talk to you in a moment. But you were talking about the storm surge, and we did say there was a potential for storm surge about 1 to 2 feet. Would you say you're starting to notice that storm surge increasing, especially now that we're seeing the worst of the weather there?
Yeah, what I'm seeing when I look out at the ocean is the level of the ocean kind of raising up and then saying sustained up and then coming ashore. I don't know if we can spin around to that. Kind of a tight angle there. So when you see the water coming up, you can see it's already elevated. Normally, this is very calm, but look at it now. You have the water level higher, then you have the waves on top of that, then it crashes into shore. So that's really a good lesson for anyone on a little bit more about what storm surge is all about.
So, Ted, we know you got there yesterday and you were out there early this morning at 4 a.m. Describe the conditions, how they've deteriorated throughout the past couple of hours.
Well, let's start with 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, we had the first kind of bands of rain coming in the evening. That was when it kind of started. Then throughout the night, a little bit of a lull. Then it picked up around 3 o'clock. And then really it's been building ever since then. What that's telling me is that the storm is obviously getting closer to the area where we are here in Key West. But it's definitely been a strong build that's been going on throughout the morning and up until now.
For your live report, and of course, take care of yourself. I see you're wearing those goggles, which is so important to cover your eyes with all the sand. Thank you.
Ted, thank you. All right, we are going
these goggles.
Oh, go ahead, Ted.
Oh, I was going to say these goggles are very important not only for the sand but for the rain. With the rain going horizontally, it hits you in the eyes, but when you have the goggles on, you can actually still see and it's not painful.
Yeah,
All right,
Ted.
take care of yourself.
Well, we will have updates for you, of course, tracking Elsa every 30 minutes. We're also going to bring you the 11 a.m. advisory when we have that live. And, of course, the latest for you coming up on CBS4 News at noon. We'll see you then.